Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to second webinar in the series of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Every year, the month of October is celebrated as National Cybersecurity Awareness Month globally. In the current pandemic situation, there is an unprecedented reliance on digital platforms to manage the routine business and day-to-day activities. This has also led to an increase in cyber criminal activities and cybersecurity challenges have increased manifold. In order to bring attention to the cyber security and stay safe and secure online, the National Forensic Sciences University is organizing a series of cybersecurity awareness activities. Today's webinar is on cybersecurity for women and child safety. Uh, here, we, here with us, Dr. Parag Rugani, Associate Professor at the National Forensic Sciences University, will be sharing his eminent knowledge. So now I would like to welcome Dr. Parag Rugani to share his immense knowledge in the field of cybersecurity and digital forensics. So I am handing over you to the Dr. Parag Rugani. Here to you, sir.
Thank you, Sarang. Thank you for your kind words. As Sarang has said, this month October is being celebrated or as observed as the Cyber Security Awareness Month, and the National Forensic Sciences University is organizing a web series of different lectures. This is the second lecture on cybersecurity for women and child safety. So, the National Forensic Science University is basically located in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, in India. And earlier it was known as Gujarat Forensic Sciences University. From 1st October, it has been elevated as the National University or Institute of National Importance. And this is our green campus. You can see the building and the campus of the headquarter of this Forensic Sciences University. This is the only university which is offering and which is dedicated to the forensic and allied sciences. So today's talk is mainly related to the cyber security, and first of all, let us know why this situation has come, that we need to think about the cyber security and specifically for women and children. So it is basically started with the technology evolution. As the technology has evolved from time to time, the things have been changed quite a lot. And recently, the COVID-19 pandemic has proven that the technology available in our hands can be used or misused as we do smartly or based on our based on our expectation. So someone has said that when the phone was tied with a wire, humans were free, and it's quite applicable. These days, people, even having the time, they are not free because the mobile has become an addiction to all, and this has also become a kind of a reason for the hackers and criminals to commit the crimes through these mobile phones. So why do we need to worry about all these crimes, and specifically when we are talking about the crimes against women and children? So the statistics have proven that the number of cyber crimes have increased in recent days. As you can see in one of the news from 2018 from one of the websites says that the crimes like cyber stalking and cyber bullying, which we will be discussing in few minutes, have been increased in 2008 in India, and you can see some of the statistics there, and they are still increasing. So you can see the another news cutout where it says that significant increase in cybercrime against women during lockdown. This is the recent one. It has been published in May 2, 2020. So this is the reason everyone needs to be worried. We will start with the basic definition of cybercrime. What is cybercrime? So in Oxford Dictionary, if we follow, it says that any criminal activities carried out by means of computers or the internet can be called as the cybercrimes. And in general terms, in simple terminology, if you say, then the definition could be an unlawful act wherein computer is used as a tool or a target or both. It means that if a person uses a computer to commit a crime, then it can be called a cybercrime. If a person targets a computer for committing the crime, that is also cybercrime. Or if a person uses computer to target a computer, then that is also a cybercrime. So here, when we say computer, it's not only the desktop computers or laptop computers. It covers the wide range of computers as defined in the Information Technology Act and various acts all over the world. It ranges from the small chips till the supercomputers. So computer world is not limited to the laptops and desktop computers. So in initial slides, we will be discussing some of the common cyber crimes pertaining to the or victimizing the women and children, and then we will move to some of the do's and don'ts, some techniques about preventing them or handling them carefully. So the first type of crime which I would like to discuss, there are a lot of categories of different crimes. I will be focusing only on two three very unique kind of crimes related to the women and children. This one is called cyberbullying. So it has becoming a very kind of a challenge for people these days, after the evolution of network and internet. The time in which we are living has all the connectivity in virtual mode. So what is the cyberbullying? Let us first understand it theoretically, and then we will try to see some workarounds for that. So it basically refers to the crime, it refers to the act of the person where people they use internet or mobile technology for intentionally harassing or bullying someone. And they do this thing by sending rude or mean or hurtful messages, comments, and images, videos. So when someone has a weakness, that person gets bullied by some people, and these people, they use different methods like sending rude messages or hurtful messages, publishing those messages to websites, or sending some commands and videos to that victim, or maybe to the near ones of that victim. So the offenders generally they use text messages or emails or social media platforms, chat rooms. So it's a kind of traditional bullying where people do it in the physical manner, where people tell something bad about someone to their friends, and during the gossipings. Similarly, this is being done on the online platforms like social media platforms and chat rooms and other things. These people, those who commit this type of crime, they can be non-person, like someone from your friend or relative, or someone can be unknown person also, like you don't know that person directly, but you could have met that person online or any social media platforms or any chat room or any gaming portal, and that person is intended to harm you through this kind of messages. So we will see some of the methods of preventing and stopping the cyberbullying and how to handle that. But another important thing to remember and to implement is that as a good netizen, all of us, those who use the internet, we should never entertain such content. Most of the times, if you observe, then the cyberbullying kind of things get motivation from the people who read them, who read such messages, or who forward such messages, and who distribute those messages, even they are not part of that thing. So whenever you receive any such message, or whenever you come to know about such things happening with your friends or with someone, you never encourage such things and try to stop those things by not posting or sharing or even forwarding such messages which can hurt others. So that is one of the initial steps which we can take as a netizen to discourage this kind of activities on the internet. There are some good resources which you would like to refer. Because of the time constraint, I will not be referring all of them here. But these resources are related to the cyberbullying. Some of them are related to the research articles, statistics, etc. So UNICEF has taken an initiative. UNICEF has a subsection called UNICEF for Every Child, and they have listed out 10 things that the children should know, so that they don't get victimized or they don't get bullied by the cyberbullying. And there is a good resource in terms of Facebook. In case if you see any such post on Facebook, then Facebook India has taken this initiative called Anti-Bullying Helpline. So if there is any message, there is any post which is being published on Facebook related to you, your friends, or anyone which could be bullying someone, then you can report such posts on Facebook, and Facebook will take necessary action to delete those posts and remove them from the Facebook resources or the database. There is an organization called Cyberbullying Research Center. They are doing good research on this. They are also conducting some workshops and presentations. From here, you can find out some interesting statistics. The recent one is from 2022 in data. So those who want to understand these things in detail, they can refer it and they can get the basic idea out of that. The second type of crime which I would like to discuss is called cyber grooming, and the cyber grooming is another crime. I think there is issue in reflecting the slides. Okay. So cyber grooming is the kind of crime which is coming up these days, or which has been realized by the people these days. So it's a kind of practice where an unknown person or maybe a non-person that they become your friends online, and then they build a relationship, they build emotional bond specifically with the children and ladies through social media or messaging platforms, and their main objective is to gain the trust. So here this hackers and the criminals, they know the emotional limitation of a person, specifically when we are living in such a situation where everyone feels alone, and you have the internet connectivity, a small device in your hand which you can use for your own purpose. The people know that your emotional weakness can be exploited, and they are doing it very well by just you're winning your trust and then putting you in trouble. So when an unknown person tries to become close to you, you should be conscious and you should feel that there is something wrong in that. So the cyber groomers, these are the people who groom the children and women. Mostly they use different mechanisms, like they use gaming websites or social media platforms, email chat rooms. Most of these crimes are committed through this common platforms, because these are the mostly used platforms by the users. What they do basically, they create fake account, and then they try to pretend. Specifically, when we talk about the children, they try to pretend like a child. That if you are targeting a child of the age of 8 or 10 years, this type of people, they will create an account and will pretend like he is or she is of the same age of 8 or 10 years, and then that person will show that like a child. That person, that groomer, the criminal, also shows post the pictures like children do. They post the paintings, and they post some artwork, and then they try to attract the other children. So what they do basically, when this groomers, they come into the contact with the victim or the target, they start making the friendship. So as you have seen in the real life also, that children can get attracted by small gifts and other attractions. So this type of people, they attract the children by offering them some gifts, or by discussing some interesting things which children generally like to do. And at one point of time, the children, the specifically the victim, they start feeling that the other person on the other side of the internet is someone who is caring me, or who is taking care of me. And that closeness is started building from that point, because due to this situation where everyone is working, and parents and other people, they are also not free to take care of their child, the people that these children, they get attracted by such unknown friends. And after that, they start sending off some messages or photographs or videos, and then they will ask the victims to share the similar type of personal content. Now this is where the children, they cannot decide. They don't have that decision power whether they should do it or not. And that is the time where they start victimizing themselves, and then that lead to some very harsh consequences at the end. There is another type of crime. It's basically, it cannot be called directly a crime, but it's a platform called online gaming. And this online gaming is the place where most of the children, they spend time, specifically when the schools are only for a couple of hours. They prefer to spend time on the online games, and this is the place where few people who misuse this platform for some mischievous activities. So there are many aggressive players online. They have the intention, like they are either doing it for bullying some people, or they are doing it to get something done by the kids or women, or maybe they are interested in some financial benefits. So they have this way of identifying. So one thing one should remember, that the criminals are very smart and they know the weaknesses of the human beings or the regular internet users, and accordingly they target different platforms. So they know that the people who are playing games online, or who are spending time on playing the games online, they can be their soft target. So they know this platform, that's why they become part of that platform and they pretend that they are gamers. So these adults mostly, and the cyber criminals, they pretend that they are like a small child like you, and they are playing game with you, and then they start becoming your friends. Like, you must have seen the online gaming where you play the games with unknown people. So they start playing the games with you, and then they start offering some tips to win the games, and they may share some points with you and try to win your trust. So ultimate aim in all the things is that, like, the criminals, they try to gain your trust and then they cheat you. So they use the opportunity when the trust is built, and they start, or they run a scam. They can ask you for your personal information, or they can ask you to pay on behalf of them using some credit card, and then later they start blackmailing you. uh, the another risk involved in online gaming is about the downloading the software. So there are many free gaming websites. They provide you free games. So the first thing is, you need to register for those websites or those applications. So once you register, uh, basically you don't need to provide all the real identities, like your real name or your real address or your real phone number and other things. But once you are playing the game, the websites, they know that you may not be able to distinguish what should you publish, what should you provide, and then you take some wrong decisions, and you can in fact you can provide a lot of details which is not required to play the games. So all those personal information, including your photographs, may be used, maybe misused by these people. They can sell that information, they can use it to blackmail you, or they can use for different purposes. Apart from that, whenever you are downloading the games in your mobile phone or your own computer, there are chances that you can get some malicious virus or malicious code, generally known as malware in the technical terms, that also gets installed in your computer or phone. And then later, these viruses, they can steal your personal information, like your contacts, your location, your password, your photographs, videos, and many other things without your knowledge. So the virus is running in the background, and they don't know what is you don't know what is the virus is doing, and in the background, a lot of information can be stolen. So this is kind of third risk with the online games. Like in many games, the players are rewarded with points, and there are some attractive offers. Like if you want to encash some points, or you want to get additional features or additional strength, like purchasing weapons or purchasing cars or anything, then you need to pay some amount. So it's always recommended that one should avoid purchasing such amounts, because it's not only one transaction for the game. Once you are purchasing anything for the game, you are disclosing your credit card information, and as being a child, you would probably look for the credit card of your parents, and your parents, when they are doing it in their observation, the things could be controlled. But if they are just allowing you to transact through their credit card, then there are chances that that credit card information may go to some unknown sources or unknown websites, and then that can be misused for some other purchases and other things. So this is also a concern from the financial aspect. So a lot of things can be considered while playing the online games. Now, this cyber stalking specifically, when I want to talk, is mostly targeting the women and mostly professional ladies in the field. So it's a kind of stalking, but cyber stalking is for the online or virtual mode. So it's a crime, and it's a some people say that it's a type of cyberbullying also, but it is little different than that. It's a crime in which the attacker harasses a victim using electronic communication, such as email, instant messaging, and this is common for all, because this is the only media by which you can reach to the victim, and then you can harass that person. So what the cyber stalkers they do, they know certain things about yourself. Like everywhere you see, it's a kind of intimation and it's kind of trust you build. with the people. So they gain your trust, they come to know about certain things, and then they start following you. So this cyber stalkers, they mostly have some motive behind them, like they could be taking some revenge, or they want to harm your reputation in the field, or there could be many reasons. But they start following the women employees and ladies in general, and then they start blackmailing them, start sending the messages and harassing them, torturing them through the electronic media. That makes the victim annoyed and frustrated. So this is a kind of serious concern in this all uh, crimes. There are other crimes also, like related to the women and children, where you can see different types of crimes which are coming up these days. Sexting is there. Then there are crimes like identity theft, where the fake profiles are created, and then the abusive messages are sent out of those fake profiles. Then there are crimes related to women, in cases where they are being victimized in the basis of sympathy ground, like people start to gain sympathy through the messages, and so all those they fall mostly in this type of categories. So this was a brief about some of the important crimes. Most of the things are known, but if certain things are new, then that these are the three things. Now, once you have this cyber crimes, once you come to know that you are being victimized, and this is the main purpose of this awareness campaign, that most of the times the victims, the sufferers, they don't know whether they have been victimized, or in case if they know, they don't have the guidelines where to go, what to do, how to report the crime, and how to handle those crimes. So each and every country in the world, specifically those who are developing and developed, and even the underdeveloped countries, they are taking the necessary care to provide different platforms to the victims and to the people who get victimized. One initiative by government of India is that they have created a platform called cybercrime.gov.in, and that platform allows you to report a complaint. As you can see, there is a complaint section where you can report a complaint for women and child-related crime, and inside that you have two options. You can report it anonymously by not disclosing your information, or you can provide your information and then you can uh, track the investigation. It also has the facility to report other cyber crimes which are not falling under the category of crime related to the women and children. They also created some helplines and some other means of creating this. Apart from this, every country they have the computer emergency response team or cybersecurity incident response team established in most of the countries. In India, we have cert.org. So in such websites, the certs, they play the major role in creating awareness among the people and getting the reports about the new types of crimes and modus operandi, and then sharing with the people. So all these websites and all these tools are available these days. So once you become aware that something has happened with you or someone whom you know, you can immediately report a complaint, and the things can be handled properly by the government. Apart from this online portals, there are always facilities available at the police station. You can have seen that the cyber police stations are also coming up these days in the countries and in various states. So there can be special dedicated people who are working on the cyber crimes. So once you get such information, you can go and report there. Now I want to the in the remaining part, I want to concentrate more on the technical aspects, do's and don'ts. So some of the things are known to you, some of the things will be new for you. So the most common way of committing the crime is through the emails, and it's a quite an old phenomena, like emails, but still people get attracted and people get victimized through the emails. So phishing email, this is an example basically of a phishing email related to the financial fraud, but it remains the same for all. So phishing emails are the emails which looks like that they are coming from the official organization or a person, but basically they are not. So some of the things one should care and one should see before believing on an email is that to check from where it is coming. Like if you see the red box which shows that from Amazon it is coming. Now the name is given Amazon, but the email address, if you see, it does not have A, the first letter of Amazon, in the website address. It's only Maison Canada. So there isn't A and it's missing there. So this is a hint that it is coming from an unknown source and unofficial source. Then mostly you will see that such lucrative offers, you will find that this particular salutation, you see that these greetings basically are general. They are not specific to a person or a specific to a customer. And then this also is an indicator that this email has been sent for a kind of cheating someone. And then mostly you find that they provide a link. Now when they provide a link, technically what you see is not what you click on. So this is the link which is being shown, which shows amazon.com properly, and if you go and type amazon.com, it will open the official website. But if you hover to this particular link, it's not pointing to amazon.com. It's only the text which has been written there. Basically it is pointing to redirect dot some website, and that is not the Amazon. So what will happen now, once you click on that, this link will open a page like Amazon where you can fill your information, personal information, and then that information is being taken out by the hackers. So SBI in India, State Bank of India, they have prepared 8 golden rules to make your internet banking experience safe. However, it's not directly related to the women and children related crimes, but it's something which is very useful. So you should change your password at regular intervals. In case if you find a phishing email, this is the point which for which I have taken this particular slide, that in case, most of the time when we see such phishing emails coming from the banks or from the any other organizations, we generally delete them, or we don't consider them, we don't look at them. But instead of doing that, we should be proactive in terms of the reporting the phishing email. So once you receive any such email, and if you see that it's coming from SBI or Amazon or Facebook or any other website, you should report it to that particular website that someone is sending such emails from your organization in the name of your organization, which is kind of phishing email and which can cheat people and harm them. So the another thing is, like, when you are accessing any website, it's better to type that URL, that website address, rather than clicking on anything. So keep a thumb rule that never click on any link, or avoid clicking on any link, and until unless it's possible to do that. uh, Avoid accessing your account from public places like cyber cafes and other common things which we will see in some of the things. So one thing is phishing, by which this type of crimes are committed and personal information is stolen. The second is the malware, and this is a kind of technical thing where most of the time we call it virus, which is coming and infecting our machine. And that virus can be a backdoor, can be an entry point for the hackers to look into your computer or mobile phone and steal your information from there. uh, this malware can be installed in your computer, laptop, or if it is not being filtered, or it's not being scanned properly. Generally they come from different sources, like the virus can come from email attachment, or it can come from unknown external storage, or if you are using USB thumb drive and you put it in someone's computer and then you use it again in your computer, there are chances that this USB thumb drive can have that virus. It can come with the unknown application installers, malicious PDF documents. If you're downloading some files from the online from the website, there are chances that the PDF files or documents which you are downloading, or maybe the pictures or multimedia files received on your WhatsApp, can have some malicious code. And this malicious code has a basic intention. Mostly it is designed and it is written to steal your information. So certain things you should remember. This is about the Windows machines. When you are installing any software, we are used to click on next, 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 next. So without reading and without worrying about what is written there. So you should be careful enough to read the things. Like if you see the first line, it says they install the something and toolbar, and it's by default checked. So if I'm clicking next, 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 it will install a toolbar without my knowledge. Even if I don't want to install that toolbar, it will install it in my computer, and that toolbar is could be a genuine application or could be a malicious software. So we should come out of that habit of clicking on next, next, next. Talking about Android, this would be something very useful in day-to-day life. So when you are using the Android phones, there are certain things which you should take care. Uh, the first thing is keeping the screen lock, and this is the most difficult screen lock which you are seeing on the screen, and it's not something one can use in day-to-day life, but it's just an example. There is an option in Android that basically you can set a setting like unknown sources. It means that don't install application from unknown sources. In other words, if you see, it says that install the applications only from the reliable and official sources like Google Play Store. Uh, there are other chances, like if you are not using Google Play Store, but if you are using a website to download an APK file or an Android application, it will install automatically and it can harm your device. In Android phones or even in iOS and everywhere, there are certain things called the uh, permissions, and these permissions are very crucial. One should be knowing what type of permission should be given to which application. Like if I'm using Facebook, it asks me for camera and storage. One thing I would like to point here is that the major threat about the crimes against women and children is the photographs. So it has been seen that the photographs you capture and you store on your phone, there are chances that people steal those photographs, or you yourself post those photographs on the social media, and then those photographs are taken and then they are morphed and then they are posted on some unwanted websites, and from there onwards they cannot be controlled. So certain things are beyond the control in the cyberspace, because cyberspace is something which is not controlled by a single authority or a single organization. So once the data is out of your computer or your mobile phone, it goes into the internet and it keeps replicating to people, and it keeps going on. So you cannot roll back all this. Once your photograph is out, once your video is out, it becomes difficult to delete all the copies from the internet for that particular photograph or particular video. So you should be conscious about setting the permissions. Like if you see Facebook permissions, it asks you for camera and storage. So what it does, that like camera can be used to capture your photograph mainly. That's why it is required. Uh, but there is an option, like you should not keep it uh, on for all the time. You may disable it, and whenever you want, just allow the application to access your camera. And once you complete your recording or complete taking the picture, you should again block that permission. And by doing that, you are making sure that the camera or the storage devices are not being accessed in the remaining time. The storage is required because once you want to save anything from the Facebook post or anything from the Facebook, it will go and will be stored on your SD card or storage media. So it once you allow the Facebook to access the storage, it means it can access your photos, media, and files on your device. These files may include some of the important files or confidential files, some of your own photographs and media, which you may not prefer to share with the Facebook. This is very applicable and it's quite important. Most of the time, this has been ignored because of the availability of the internet. When you are using WhatsApp, now WhatsApp is also part of Facebook. So when you are using WhatsApp, you generally see that the photos, audio, videos, and documents, there are four types of files it downloads and it supports. So it has an option that by default, it downloads all the files when you are connected through Wi-Fi. And it downloads, I think, photos only when you are connected to the data network. But I would recommend to disable all. Never keep this on for all whether you are using the mobile data or whether you are using the Wi-Fi. You should uncheck all the boxes: photos, audio, videos, or documents. No file should be downloaded without your permission or without uh, your consent. So, say for example, there is a photograph sent by your friend, or it has come in your WhatsApp group. If you have checked this box photos on, then it will automatically download the photograph on your storage. But that may not be required to me. What I generally do, I have that photograph and I find that it's not of my use, I will delete that. So rather than doing that, let us keep that blocked. So I don't allow the WhatsApp to download any media directly from the internet, but I see the preview, and then if I find that okay, this has come from one of the known sources, one of my friends or relatives, and this photograph could be of my use. So I click on that, and once I click, then only it gets downloaded. Another benefit of this is that some of the videos or some of the audio files, they may contain some viruses. There is a technique called steganography, and using which you can have some viruses embedded in this type of files. So if you make this enabled, a video file will automatically be downloaded, and with that video file, there are chances that you can have some malicious software also gets downloaded. So this is recommended to keep this off. Another thing about the safety is keeping the passwords and having a strong password. It said that it saves you from a lot of issues. So keeping the passwords is a big challenge, and specifically the major challenge is remembering them. So if you keep very complex or difficult password, there are chances that you will forget them. So these are the top 10 or the 10 worst passwords of 2019, which people had set and the hackers could hack them easily. So if you had set any of the passwords which had been kept by you, then it's better that you change them. It is recommended that you use minimum 8-character passwords with the alphabets, digits, and special symbols, and you can make a combination in such a way that you can remember that. But avoid keeping the names and birth dates and vehicle numbers, etc. So there was a person, I would like to share this slide. It's a funny slide. So there was a person who had an issue in remembering the password, and someone suggested him to keep a password. After that, he never forgot his password. So as I can see, it will take some seconds in reflecting the slide, but you can guess that password. He kept the password as incorrect, and then whenever he forgot the password, the computer itself says that your password is incorrect, and then it reminds him about his password. Okay, my password is incorrect. Then he types in incorrect, and he is inside the computer. Don't do this. It's just for fun. Keep your passwords very strong, and try to try to keep such passwords which you can remember. There is a small hint which could help you in remembering the passwords, and that is, don't worry about all the passwords. There could be some passwords of some websites where you are not storing any information. Like if you have to set the password for your banking account, you should be very conscious about setting that password properly. But if you are setting a password for a blog or for somewhere where you are not posting anything, you have to just uh, create the account, and you need to refer some of the things there, but you are not putting any information at those places. You can use simple passwords, but that also not be something which can be hacked easily. Next is about antivirus. It has been ignored by many people on the mobile phones also, but antivirus is something which is useful. It may not eliminate all the risks and all the threats. It cannot assure you 100% security, but it can eliminate a lot of issues and viruses. So having an antivirus is also something which can be an added advantage, and that can be useful in case when you are accessing the internet for downloading files from unknown places. The antivirus up to a certain level is somewhat people feel and people use it due to some awareness, but there is another issue with computers and mobile phones is updates. Many people, they don't update their computers, or they don't update their mobile phones for a long time. And what happens due to this is that once you don't update your computer and mobile phone, there are chances that there could exist some vulnerabilities. They are the weaknesses in the computer software or application that can lead to some attacks, cyber attacks, and from there you get your device compromised. So many of you must have heard about ransomware, and there was a ransomware called WannaCry, which affected a lot of computer users in past, and that was possible due to the vulnerability which was existing in Windows XP machines. So those who are using computer, they should update. Now these are all technical things, but this could be related to the crimes against anyone, cyber crimes against anyone, because these are all the places from where the criminals and hackers can get inside your computer or get inside your mobile phone, and then they steal your information, and then they misuse those information against you. Now, some of the settings I want to show you practically. So next 10 minutes we can spend on this practical things. So Gmail settings, I will show it from my account itself. So if you go to Gmail in your inbox, you have an option called details. This is going to be very useful for the people who have this email issues. So you can see the activities, the places from where your email was accessed. Most of the time we don't sign out of our mobile phones Gmail application, but you can see the details, like from which browser the internet was used, from which operating system Windows was used, and if you find anything suspicious, that then it can be handled, and then it can be checked up. There is another option called like security checkup. If you click on security checkup, it will open a dashboard where it will show you all your devices, mostly the devices which you have registered. It will also show you the security events in case if your device, or in case if your mobile phone or email was accessed from unknown devices. It shows you. It also shows you the two-step verification, which is very important and which is recommended. Gmail settings, there could be some security settings related things. Apart from this, Google also provides you the option to decide what kind of activities you want to publish, or what kind of activities the Google should remember on behalf of you. So when you are using Google accounts, mostly the activities are synced between your phone and uh, your desktop Gmail. So here you have option like activity controls. You can go to data and personalization, and from there you can see the different activities. You can click on manage your activity controls. I assume that there is some time which is being taken and reflecting the screen in YouTube. So when you go to the activities screen, you can see that YouTube history. Now, by default, YouTube history is enabled. So whatever you are watching on YouTube, that is being recorded, and that history is being preserved by YouTube. Uh, it means that there are chances that there could be some ways by which people can know what has been watched by you. And from there, they can start using their psychological skills to attract you. And then from there, it can be misused. Similarly, there are a lot of settings, location setting is there, which you can enable or disable. There is a web and application activity that also can be managed and disabled. So you can see all these screens, activities and Gmail settings. Then the Facebook settings, I will show you those screens. Like Facebook has an option called privacy checkup. You can browse through the Facebook account, and you can go to the privacy checkup, and there you have an option called who can see what you share. And a lot of components are there, like how people can find you, how to keep your account secure, your data settings. But I'll show you one of them, like who can see what you share. And if you click on continue, it will show you like this is my phone number, so who can see it? Only me. My email, who can see? Only me. You can set all the settings, like your address, who can see it? You can click on that, and it will show you who can see, whether you want to keep it public or you want to keep it friends, or you can have some custom, or you can have selected friends. Now, when you feel that certain information you want to hide or you don't want to publish, you should keep that only me, and then it would not be disclosed to the public. Apart from that, common question is like, if you have someone whose profile is being found, that you find someone that has created a profile like you, or like a fake profile of yours, then how to report such profile. So this is my friend, his name is also Parag, and we had been colleagues, and he's my friend. So this is a genuine and real account. But I'm just showing you an example that if you find any such accounts which has found or seems to be the fake account, then you can You can search for that account and go for that option here in three dots for more. The first thing is like you can block that person if you want that it's not a fake account, but that person is uh, like a stalker or like a bully who is harassing you. Then the first thing you can do is you can block it, or there is an option like find support or report profile. So once you click on that, it shows you different options like pretending to be someone, it's a fake account, it's a fake name, that person is posting inappropriate things, that person is sending some harassment related messages or bullying someone. The other things are related to the person whose account is being on. So if you find any such activities, you can just use these options, and then you can report to the Facebook. They do certain things like they check your identity. They may ask you for identity proof to verify whether the fake account which has been claimed by this person really belongs to you, or you are the real person, or he is the real person, because they cannot see anyone. And they also indicate that you can contact your law enforcement agency in your area, and these law enforcement agencies are allowed and are permitted to get the reports from Facebook. So this is about Facebook profile. Then there is the free Wi-Fi. So when you have the facility, or when you want the internet, you should not rely on the free Wi-Fi or the public Wi-Fi. There are chances that when you are using free Wi-Fi, that Wi-Fi access point may be, I think it's not properly updating the screen in YouTube. So, in free Wi-Fi, when you connect, you don't know whether you are traffic or whether the information you are passing through gets intercepted by the hackers, or get intercepted by the people in that particular region, specifically by the criminals. So it may happen that you use Wi-Fi and then you enter your password or you enter your credit card, and then it gets stolen from there. The last thing from the do's and don'ts, don't go for the title, it's the same slide. There is an option by Google account called family application or family link. You can create the Google account for your child, for your kids. This is mainly for the parents. When you are monitoring the activities of your kids, you have an option to create a Google account for your child, and then from there you can monitor the activities. You can see the screen time, how much time the child is spending on the Android phone, what type of applications are being used, and a lot of things. Finally, couple of common tips, couple of slides for common tips. Sarang, just want to confirm whether the things are updated properly there on YouTube or not, if you can confirm, because I can see the old slides there. Okay, so common tips. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. No one gives you anything for free. So if you are getting anything for free, you are losing something. It may be your personal information, it may be some sensitive information. So be careful while you are accessing or using anything free. Specifically for the women and children, when we are talking about their crimes related to them, don't accept friend requests from unknown people on social media platforms. Don't share your personal information like date of birth, address, phone number, and even photographs to any such people. You should use the privacy settings like what we have seen in Facebook. And remember, once you post anything online, that remains there forever, and it's hard to delete all the instances from there. Also, never install unwanted software and applications. If possible, avoid cheating on webcam or using webcam with unknown persons specifically. And if you are using the phone or you are using the laptop, try to cover the camera when it is not being used. Even you can decide to keep that setting off when no application can access your camera from your desktop or mobile phone. Never install any software or game or any application from any unknown source, as it has been shown in the Android slide. never share details, specifically credit card details, to anyone, or specifically when you are going to attend the financial fraud related webinar in next week, you will come to know about the certain do's and don'ts related to that. So before I close, I want to show you some of the websites which would be useful. There is a website called ISEA, and this is infosecawareness.in. It's again a government of India initiative. And once you go there, you can find a lot of information available there related to the different categories of the internet users. It can be related to the children. So if you go to this section, you will find a lot of information about the children, those who are using the computers, and how to remain safe while using the internet. You can also go for category like women, student, family, police, teacher. And as I said, the cybercrime.gov, this is the website where you can report the crime. And it also has a section called resources, where you can find the cybercrime awareness related activity resources. You can go for the cybercrime awareness booklet, or you can go for the safe use of social media platform. And there is an interesting document by the Maharashtra police, if I'm not wrong, and that is about the uh, content on cyber crime, what type of cybersecurity measures should be taken. So if you go for a specific type of crime, they have created stories for them. So you would like to read them, you would like to refer them for understanding these details in more depth. So like if it is identity theft, and if you go down, you can see the story related to identity theft, how a person has been victimized, and what identity theft can cause to a person. There are 2 3 stories for each, and at the end of the section, they provide you tips also, that uh, how to prevent such attacks, and how to prevent such type of crimes, so that you don't get victimized. And it has all the detailed things. Some of the slides which I have taken, some of the contents, including the pictures, are also from the content from the Government of India's awareness handbook for students on cyber safety. So this is also available on the same website, cybercrime.gov.in. So if you go to, let me show you. So if you go to cyber safety tips, there is a handbook for students in English and in Hindi. And if you go to that ISEA website, the good thing is that it has an option. It has the content in different languages. So if you are referring to any uh, content in your language, you would probably able to find that in this particular website. It has a lot of thing there. A lot of information is available on the internet, and people can get easily educated about those things. So I think I will stop here. I have covered the major component which I wanted to discuss. So I'm not sure if Sarang, is there any question we can take or not?
No, sir. Right now, there is no question.
Okay. So thank you for listening, and I hope that you'll be safe and secure. These tips will help you in remaining safe and secure online. And awareness is the biggest solution available with us, which can help us in preventing the crimes. So rather than putting ourselves in the situation from where we need to report and we need to solve the crimes, it's always better that we remain aware, and we try to avoid, and just try to put the things in particular order and fashion, so that we don't get victimized. So with these words, I will stop here. Once again, thank you for listening, and I think that's it. Sarah, anything from your side?
No, thank you, sir. That was a truly marvelous session. Thank you for sharing your great insights on such topic. We really got together a lot of new insight in this subject. I really thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. That's it for today. So we'll meet on next Saturday on same time.